What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Talks with Trav. As always, your host, Travis Diamond. Super thankful that you decided to join me today. This is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to read off something that I wrote a while back in regards to personal accountability. I think personal accountability is one of the, if not the most important factors in having a quality of life that is what you want in success and in failure. If you don't practice personal accountability, then you're probably not going to accomplish what you want. And if you do, odds are you're going to have a very successful life. That's just kind of the way it works for whatever reason. Ultimately, it's that way because personal accountability essentially means taking responsibility for your results in a given area of your life. So if I'm in a position where I didn't get a promotion, instead of saying that there was favoritism or whatever the case may be, I would go to my boss and say, hey, I applied for the promotion. I understand not getting it, but could you give me some guidance as to why and what I need to improve so the next time a position becomes available, I'm more likely to be approved for it. That is taking responsibility. That is saying, hey, there's things that I've not learned. There's things that I do a certain way that are not what the company wants. There's various factors into taking personal responsibility in this example, right? The alternative is blaming favoritism and saying your boss and that person that got the promotion are friends, or it's because they're whatever, insert excuse, right? So that was one of the biggest pivotal changes in my life, was starting to take personal responsibility and accountability. Jocko Willink has a great book called Extreme Ownership that the entire book's about that. He's a military guy, former Navy SEALs, officer in the Navy, all those good things, right? All of that talk about, like, if you know the military mindset, it's all about personal responsibility, personal accountability. And him, from a leadership standpoint, he would do the same thing, and that was profound to me. In fact, that's when I first started applying it, was when I was in a leadership position, and I said, hey, I can potentially start taking responsibility for everything and get different results. So what I did was I said, every success of my team is a direct result of my team's efforts, and every failure of my team is a direct result of my failure as a leader. I didn't take credit for the successes. That was for the team because they're the one that put in the work. But failures are always on the leader because the leader is responsible for the team's success. They don't cause the success, they're responsible for it, and they're also responsible for the failure. However, the difference is poor leadership does lead to failure. Okay, so that's when I first started utilizing it from a leadership standpoint. I was at a hospital working, and I said, you know what? I'm telling, we didn't meet this metric because these 4 people didn't meet their personal goals, their individual goals, or whatever it may be, right? And I stopped doing that, and I started putting the spotlight on me and saying, well, the reason we fell short in this metric is because I didn't do these things to help support the team, or to encourage the team, or teach the team, educate them, train them, whatever. It was always on me, right? So that's the first thing. It's always on you, all right? What can you do differently to fix the situation, to improve the situation? All right. So now I'm going to read this. It's not that long. It's just something I wrote one day. I was thinking through some things, and I decided to write this, and I may have already published it or posted it somewhere. I don't know. I couldn't find it, so I don't think I have. But without further ado, I'll go ahead and read this. This is simply titled Personal Accountability. Personal accountability is an immeasurable trait that all people of success have. Those who take responsibility for their life in every aspect are sure to have abundance. Today, I want to share with you the steps that you can take to develop your personal accountability. First, we should define it. Personal accountability is taking responsibility for the results in a given area of your life. This means if you're out of shape, you can look at yourself and pinpoint your diet and your lack of exercise as the reason why. Not genetics, not because healthy food is so expensive, but because you choose not to work out or eat healthy. If it's money, you look at your bank account and say you need to make more money and spend less on the things that don't matter. You don't complain about how expensive the power bill is, or how much rent costs, or that you want more help from the government. Simply put, personal accountability is when you recognize that you're the biggest roadblock in your life and you get out of your own way. I believe honesty is the first step to developing personal accountability. If you're not honest with yourself and others about why your life is the way it is, you will never accept responsibility nor take action to change it. After all, it's not your fault your life sucks, right? I challenge you to write down each area of your life, broken down into, let's say, 5 to 7 categories or areas. For example, family, friends, finance, fun, faith, physical, and professional. Under each area, write down 3 things that you have done to prevent you from maximizing your results in that area. Now, write down 3 things you are doing to help you maximize your results in that area. The reason I say write both things you are doing to hurt and to help your results is so you can see on paper how you are responsible for the results in your life. It forces that personal accountability on you. Once you've written them out under each area, write down a commitment of the things you will do going forward to improve your results. For example, I'm fully committed to improving my physical well-being by eating salads each day for lunch, stop eating 2 hours prior to bed, cleaning up my diet, exercising at least 3 times a week, and going for a walk or run daily. When you write it out, it subconsciously becomes your responsibility to follow through with it. It's okay to give a deadline. Say you will take the following actions for 21 days or whatever time you see fit. The important thing is writing out that commitment and following up on it. The next thing you can do to reinforce that personal accountability is to make your environment and surroundings the way you need them to be to help you succeed. This means if you have a bunch of junk food or alcohol in the house and you wrote your commitment to improvement, you need to grab a trash bag and throw it out today. This means if your area is a mess, take some time and clean it up today. If you need somewhere to read that is peaceful, then create that space. If your room is all you can control, get started on your room today. Set out the things you want to focus on each day. Keep them in sight so you will be more likely to utilize them. Put up pictures that motivate you, quotes that inspire you, and messages that encourage you. Create a vision board and put your goals on it. I understand that not everyone can change their house, but all of us have an area where we can make work for us. Now that we have a detailed plan of action and an area that is designated to help us succeed, it's time for action. Today is the day you start taking action to become the person you want to be. This doesn't have to be some crazy rich person. You can use personal accountability to become a better lover, or a better family member, or a better student, to become more patient. The possibilities are limitless. That's the beauty of personal accountability. You understand that it is up to you to do the things you need to do to become the person you wish to be. To me, it's very exciting to know just how simple of a process it is. To me, it's very exciting to know just how simple of a process it is. The thing is, most of us don't believe it's that easy. Or we are holding on to the built-in excuse that our life is this way because of the hand life dealt us or because of an upbringing. The most important thing personal accountability offers is a peace of mind knowing you're in control of your life. Knowing that at any moment you can decide to become someone else, and only you can make it happen. There is a certain type of power that emerges from developing personal accountability. Almost a calming power that you have to experience to understand. I believe in you and your journey to personal accountability. Just know it can be a driving factor in changing your life. It doesn't take a 500-page book to get started. I hope the few paragraphs that I have composed will help you start your journey. I wish you the best of luck, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side. So, that is something that I wrote a couple years ago. It still stands true today to me. Reading it aloud again, I see some places where I could have added different things, but I think at that point in time, my purpose was not to go all in depth. So yeah, I want to talk a little bit today about personal accountability. I told you my gist of it, and I'm going to break that down in detail so we can have a better understanding of it and of what we can do as the individual to get that accomplished. Okay, so again, the first thing, personal accountability, is recognizing that you're the biggest roadblock in your own life and you get out of your own way. All right. That takes some introspective time. You have to sit with yourself and think about it and Let go of all the lies you've been telling yourself about why things are not the way you want them to be. Embrace some very, very hard and tough truths that you are the reason things are not where you want them to be. There's obviously factors outside of your control. You can't control being abused as a child, but you can control not letting it completely derail your life as an adult. You can't control having someone come up to you and T-boning you and totaling your car, but you can control the way you respond to that accident. You can't control someone else walking up to you and slapping you in the face or cussing at you or what have you, but you can control the way you respond to it, right? For some of us it's to fight. To some of us it is to run away, to cower. Some of us it's to stand there and act as if it didn't happen. Whatever the case may be, you're responsible for the way you respond. And going back to the honesty, it's not easy looking in the mirror and saying, Travis, you're the reason your life is the way it is, all the good and all the bad. The reason you have not accomplished some of the goals in your life that you have set to accomplish is because of your lack of action, because of your excuses, because of your lack of willingness to do what needed to be done to accomplish the goals that you set. That's not easy. Not easy at all. And I believe that's probably why most of us will never have personal accountability in our lives. Looking in the mirror and looking yourself in the eye and taking responsibility for where you are in life, good and bad, that's hard to do. But it's the first step. And it's freeing. It's like, hey, I've spent all this time blaming other people. So I have resentment in my heart. I have hate in my heart. I have anger and frustration and jealousy and envy and all of the negative emotions, right? But you have them because of a lie. You have them because you were saying that person's the reason that I'm not living the dream life. Well, the dream life is just that. It's a dream. It's what we want, and it always changes. I assure you, the people who are multimillionaires and billionaires are living a life that you would consider a dream life, but every day they're working to get a better life because they are not satisfied. That may have been their dream when they didn't have all that money, but when they bought it and realized that, hey, this actually isn't my dream life, it's nice, it's great, it's relaxing, it's whatever, but it's not what I truly want in my life. When they realize that, they start working for more. So it's never ending. The pursuit of perfection is never ending. That's why I totally believe when you set a goal, the journey is the most important part to that goal. When you have a dream life, the journey it takes you on, the journey life takes you on to get to that dream life is what matters more than anything. It's because that's where the growth happens. That's where the acceptance happens. That's where the brutal honesty happens. That's where the effort happens and the consistency and the blood, sweat, and tears, all of that, the meeting the people and making and breaking friendships and doing all the things that you need to do to get what you want out of life. That's where it happens. That's when you become the person capable of accomplishing the goals that you set in the journey, not at the end. You are the person way before you accomplish the goal that you need to be to accomplish it. It's that simple. You just have to get on the journey and go along the way, and then let time run its course with the effort and consistent action. So yeah, that's what you have to do. You have to be brutally honest, and look at it and give yourself examples. The 5 to 7 areas. There's several areas of life that you can work to, but I gave the examples of family, friends, finance, fun, faith, physical, and professional. Right. So we're talking family. Okay. I don't know. I haven't always had the best relationship with my parents or my grandparents or my aunts and uncles. I still don't have the best relationship with any of them, but I have a significantly better relationship with all of them than I did 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago. Family, for example, I am a much better spouse and father today than I was a year ago. Not because I was a bad one a year ago, but because I've learned, I've figured out how to improve. I figured out what works, what doesn't work, how they like to be spoken to, how I need to interact with them to get the most out of the relationship. And it's not about, I'll say things like that and people are like, oh, you're manipulating, you're taking. No. When I say I want to get the most out of a relationship, that means I want the most joy and happiness and satisfaction and love possible. That's what that means. It doesn't mean that I want to take advantage and utilize the resources that they may be able to provide me or whatever. All right, I want my 4-year-old stepson to look at me and say, Travis, I love you. You're awesome. Thank you. I don't want to be the guy that's constantly yelling. I don't want to be angry and frustrated and stressed out. I'm not going to do it. And the way I avoid doing that is by taking personal responsibility and saying, yeah, I've asked him 7 times not to do that, and he's doing it for the 8th time. But does that really warrant me getting stressed out and mad and upset and punishing him? Maybe I just need to talk to him in a different manner. Maybe I need to distract him. Instead of saying, hey, don't jump on the couch, why don't I don't know, go grab his little mini trampoline out of his room and put it by the couch so he can jump on that? Have I exhausted every avenue to accomplish the goal of not jumping on the couch? For my wife. Do I listen intently and I try to do the things that she wants? Do I hear her in the kitchen a little frustrated because she's doing the dishes again and I haven't done them because of whatever reason? And I sit there and say, well, she's going to do them either way. I'm a man. I'm not doing dishes. Do I say that? No. Most of the time I get up, if she's doing the dishes, I go in there together. And you know what? I go in there with her and we do them together. And as a result of that, we do that. That's interchangeable. If I'm doing the dishes and she hears it, she'll get up and come in there and help me. Right? If I'm cleaning, she'll help me. If she's cleaning, I'll help her. Now, there's some times where I don't, and there's sometimes she doesn't, and that's okay. But we have communication because both of us take the personal responsibility, the personal accountability of a successful relationship. If my wife is not happy about something in the relationship, I am at fault. Period. Full stop. End discussion. That's it, right? So it's like, what can you do to be a better spouse or to be a better parent? Or, let's go to friends. Do I go out and spend time with my friends? Do I call them when I need something, but that's it? Do I check in with them from time to time? I have a friend that, my best friend growing up, Zach, we were best friends from the 3rd grade on. I went down a certain path shortly after high school. He joined me for a little bit, then he took an exit a few years earlier than I did. He went on his own way, got his life back in order, went to college, all that good stuff. I did not, so I spent a few more years screwing around doing nothing. Well, my friend Zach, he is now living in Alaska. I live in Florida. Literally the entire other side of the continent. We talk 5 or 6 times a year. Shoot each other texts. Hey, how you doing, bud? Happy holiday, whatever. We'll have a little conversation. Next time he comes to Florida, I'm going to try to see him. And who knows, maybe I'll plan a trip, go up to Alaska with my family and go spend some time with him. He can show me the ropes, right? And I also have friends that I live in the same town as that I don't talk to much at all, that I'll see from time to time, that we'll see once or twice a year. Most of my friends from back home in Pensacola, I don't live there anymore. I have 2 or 3 that I'll message and talk to, and, on a consistent basis. And when I go into town, there's 2 or 3 that I make a point to see every time. That doesn't mean I don't love my friends, but it does mean that I could probably do a better job of communicating to them on a more consistent basis and saying, hey, I hope you're doing well, bud. Or I miss you and the good energy and the good vibes and all of that. Just a kind, caring message, just thinking about you. Those things, right? Or maybe I can do more to help my friends. Am I in a position where I know I have a friend who has a specialty, who has a certain skill set, and they're working, let's say they're, I don't know, I'll just say carpenter, right? Do I have a friend that's a carpenter that's getting paid X amount, but I know someone who's in need of a carpenter that'll pay more money and it'll be a better position for my friend? Am I helping bridge that gap between the two? Why not? Things like that to think about. Finances. Do I buy unnecessary things? Do I really absolutely have to have the latest and greatest cell phone? Or the newest this, or the best that, or the whatever it may be. This brand versus that brand. And there's some times where, yes, you do need to have that. Or, no, you shouldn't give in for a particular brand or for that. You should always stick to, hey, this is what I want. I've gotten to a point now where I try to buy predominantly local things or American made things, American manufactured, American assembled. Not because I'm anti the rest of the world, but because if we want to fix the problems in this country, some of them are directly connected to the lack of money in certain areas where people are doing these local crafts and these local goods, and they're not getting paid what they could be. They're not selling as much as they could be because it's cheaper to buy the eggs from Walmart than it is from the farmer's market. Or it's cheaper to buy the thing off of Amazon or Alibaba and have it shipped over here, or it's cheaper to buy it off of Wayfair than it is to buy it from the American made people, or whatever. And there's reasons that it's cheaper, mainly because when you go to these countries, they don't have actual labor laws, so they're getting paid pennies on the dollar, $1 a week, stuff like that. I'm not saying exactly $1 a week, that's what they get paid factually, no. But I am saying it's pennies on the dollar, or in a lot of cases, it's children labor, you know? So, yeah, I went on a little bit of a tangent there, but finances. Do I have a budget? Do I know how much money I spend each month on my lifestyle? Do I know how much money I make? Do I know how much money I need to make each month to live the life that I want to live? How's my credit? Am I in debt? Is it good debt? Is it bad debt? Do I have collections? All of these things are things to look at. What do I do for fun? That's the next thing, fun. All right, let's talk about fun. When I have fun, what does that consist of? Do I play a video game? Do I go spend time with people? Do I try new things? Do I have a hobby? Things like that. And it's, well, I was going to go out with my buddy, but I just really don't feel like going out to a restaurant and grabbing a drink, or to go play golf, or to listen to this band. I'm so tired. I'm just going to sit home and watch Netflix. All right, well, maybe you're not really doing anything to help yourself have fun. How about faith? Beliefs, you're not religion, but faith. That's spirituality. It can be religion. For a lot, it is religion. It's Christianity, it's Buddhism, it's Muslim, it's Jewish, it's all of those, right? Are you practicing what you believe in? If you're a Christian, are you honoring the Ten Commandments? Are you doing everything you can to help those in need? Are you preaching the gospel? I'm not too familiar with all the other religions, but what are you doing to honor your faith? What are you doing to dishonor it? What can you do better, right? Those are the questions you need to ask in that regard. Physically, do I eat like crap? Am I lethargic and sloppy and not take care of myself? Should I exercise? Probably. Yeah, most likely. Most definitely. Am I capable of it? What steps can I take to put myself in a better health? What am I doing right now to hinder my physical well-being? And professionally, am I satisfied in my job? I'll tell you right now, title and salary or pay rate or whatever do not equate to satisfaction or fulfillment. I was getting paid good money, and I had a pretty spiffy title on my little plastic name tag. And I fucking hated life. I was in an abyss. I was miserable. The higher up the food chain I went, the more I wanted to end it. And I'm not saying that trying to get sympathy or anything like that, but I was at a point where I was making $60,000+ a year, managing 30 people, about 30, it fluctuated based on staff, well on my way to a promotion within the next 2 years of me getting that initial promotion, where I would have been in six figures or very close to it. And I would get home every day, and I would think things like, if this is all my life is going to be until I retire, why am I wasting my time doing it? I couldn't even be present with my wife and child because I was so drained mentally, right? And that's an extreme example. That's an extreme example for sure. But that's where I was. What's the point of me doing any of this if I'm going to feel like this all the time? There's no point to it. So I quit. I walked away from it. It was either continue to do this and make this money and do all of this stuff, or put your foot down and say, no, I'm done. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to get away from that and find something else. And that's what I've done, and I'm significantly happier as a result. That doesn't mean you won't be happy from your professional life. I know people that they have a regular job, they're whatever, and they enjoy their coworkers, they get a sense of satisfaction from their job, they go home fulfilled. That's beautiful. I know people that are entrepreneurs that are the same thing. it goes both ways, but the question remains the same. Am I doing everything I can to be satisfied in my life from a professional standpoint? Am I learning the things I need to learn to be a better professional? What am I doing wrong hindering my professional growth? What can I do differently? What can I do better? You've got to ask yourself those things, right? And I said, write down the 3 things you're hindering yourself by doing and 3 things you can do to get better, which I totally believe, 100%. And then once you have the 6 things from each area, the 3 good, 3 bad, you can really form a plan and say, hey, this right here I probably need to do away with. I don't need to show up late for work. I need to get there on time, maybe even a little early, so I can be fully prepared to work when it's time to start working. Or I don't need this job anymore. I need to find something that's fulfilling. There's various things that you can do, but you have to look at it and write it out so you can see in real life what's going on, what's there, and what you can do differently. Right? Those are the very, very important things. The next thing you can do I would say, is give yourself 21 days. Give yourself a week. You know what? Start with 1 day. Just for 1 day, say, I'm not going to do I'm not going to do these 3 things, and I am going to do these 3 things. And we're going to see how that goes. And then when you wake up tomorrow, make that same commitment. And then when you're able to make a commitment of a week's worth of doing it, or 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, or a month, or 6 months, or a year, or the rest of your life, work your way up to that level of commitment, because the thought of saying, I'm never going to do this again, or I'm going to do this every day for the rest of my life, is daunting, it's terrible, it's miserable. And that is one of the reasons people that are addicted to substances or addicted to anything can't really ever fully quit, because the thought of saying, I'm never going to do this thing again, is painstaking. And this is from someone who has overcome 3 different addictions in his life. And by overcome, I mean put down to never be done again. It's that simple. And now, it's easy for me to say because it's been a few years since I've done it, but when you're in the thick of things, it's not so easy. But that's the reality of it. One of the reasons people can't quit drugs or alcohol or tobacco or whatever is because the thought of them never being able to do it again is too overwhelming. So, let's move on. The next thing that you can do to reinforce the personal accountability is to make sure your environment and surroundings are the way you need them to be to help you succeed. I am in my office. My office was located next to my living room, but it was impossible for me to record and to have quiet time where it was, so we moved it. And we moved it to the back of the house away from everything. Partly, also, we have a child now. We have a newborn. So we needed more room up front, so we swapped our bedroom with the office. The office is a good bit bigger than our bedroom, so we just swapped them. So now we have ample room up there, and we killed 2 birds with 1 stone. Back here, I can record night or day, anytime. I can sit back here and study, and it's all good. Couldn't do that before. I had to plan it around naps and around machines running and around dogs barking and all of that. So set up your space to help you. If you want a meditation area, you don't have to have a meditation room. But if you have a nice pillow or a beanbag or something along those lines that you can put in a nice corner with some incense or a music player that allows you to listen to certain melodies or certain sounds as you meditate, or a book or something, or a reading nook is a great example. A breakfast nook, it's just a little spot in the kitchen where you can go and sit, enjoy your breakfast next to the light of outside coming in the window, or where you can read your book in peace and quiet. Things like that. Your environment really matters. And then I would like to talk about the people that you're with, but that probably requires a whole podcast in itself. But I'll touch on it a little bit. If possible, get the people that are in your environment to support you. Talk to them, tell them what you're doing, what you're working on accomplishing, lay it out. They may want to join you. This may be new groundbreaking stuff to them, and they may be like, dude, let's walk me through that, because I need to do this too. There's some things that I need to change in my life, and I've never known how to do it. I just thought it was the way it was, but you're telling me it's not, so maybe I can do it with you. Not everyone's going to do that, and most people won't, but most people will be supportive of you making changes in your life. And if you have to talk to them, though, you have to say, hey, give me some grace over the next month, because I'm going to be going through things and trial and error and doing all of this. So if you see me doing one of these 3 things, if I go to raise my voice or I go to do this, just remind me I'm new me. You know, however you need to say that to get what you want to accomplish, and getting those people to, if not help you, most certainly not hinder your growth and you working towards being personally accountable for your actions and for your results in life. That's huge. You have to change your environment. If it's a diet-based thing, get rid of junk food. Get it out of your house, because if it's there, you will eat it. I'm telling you, because you've done it before. You've always done it. That's what you will continue to do if you don't change it. Have a vision board. Those things are great. Or you don't even have to have a vision board. I have goals written on a whiteboard. You see this blackboard behind me? That's where I write my daily stuff, like my daily duties and stuff. You can see it's empty right now. I'm slacking a little bit. But each morning I'll come in there and I'll write them on there, most mornings. And then I have a whiteboard over here that you can't see that will typically have goals and things of that nature on it. Sometimes my wife will use it for her studies and things of that nature, but that's like the multi-purpose board. But we'll write out what we're working towards. Or, you know, we have 3 or 4 vision boards throughout the house. It doesn't have to be a vision board, but we really like vision boards at my house. Just keep, some people set screensavers on their phone or their laptops or their tablets or their computers or whatever it may be. Cases, phone cases. Some people have shirts or wristbands. Just keep it in front of you. That's the point of things like that, to keep the end goal in front of you. You don't want clutter. You got to clean up and get rid of the clutter, because clutter is only going to hinder your advancements. So that's really, without diving in very, very deep, those things are what you can do to develop that personal accountability in your life. And from there, you just repeat the process. Okay, I've gotten these things taken care of. What are 3 other things that I can eliminate and replace with? And I can replace them with 3 positive things that are really going to help me accomplish my goals. What are those things? What does that look like? And then again, you go through it, you learn, you adjust, and you keep going. That's one of the most beautiful things about personal accountability, is when you make the decision to take responsibility for your life, you are literally becoming the author of your life, and you have the rest of your book that is your life unwritten, and you get to ink it out. You get to write out whatever it is that you want to write out. You're telling your story now. You went from a biography, someone telling a story about you, to an autobiography, you writing the story of your life. You went from letting someone paint a picture that you hang up to painting the picture yourself. You go from being the person that just goes day to day, living life, mundane, all of that stuff, just bored, purposeless, lack of satisfaction, all of those things. You go from that person, angry and frustrated and blaming everyone and resentful. You go from that person to a person that wakes up excited about life every day. Today, every morning is a new opportunity for me to create the life that I want. I'm alive, the rest is up to me. You become that person. And people don't really like that person, because you're a walking mirror. When you walk around saying, oh, well, I'm alive, it's up to me to have a good day. I can't, my boss's attitude doesn't dictate my day. Traffic doesn't dictate my day. My spouse doesn't dictate my day. Whatever it may be, I dictate the quality of my life and my day and my emotions. No one else, nothing else, period. End of conversation. People don't like that, because you're a walking mirror, and they see you, hear you saying that, and they can't understand why they don't do it in their life. Or worse for them is they realize you're right, and they have that aha moment sitting right next to you, or right in front of you, or around you. And that's hard, because it's like, although you're not trying to put stuff in someone's face, they're going through it and they got a lot going on, and this guy coming in here smiling and all happy. Don't you say good morning to me? What's good about today? Well, you're alive. The rest is up to you. That's what's so good about today. Today is an opportunity where you're breathing and functioning on your own. You get to decide how it goes. Sorry you have stress, but that can't affect me. I have stress too. I choose not to let my stress deplete me and debilitate me and ruin my life. Tried to keep it under an hour. I did that. We're about 37 minutes. I'll probably be somewhere close to 40 by the time I'm done. just remember, personal accountability, it's not like one day you're going to say, all right, I'm accountable for my life and everything's going to change. You're still going to live your life the way it has been, because those things take time. So there's a little formula that I want you to remember. Once you start becoming aware of the things you need to change and you're taking personal accountability for your life, you need to have effort plus consistency plus time equals results. All right, so that is the efforts that you put in. You need to put those efforts in consistently over a longer period of time. You can't change. Rome wasn't built in a day, if you know what I'm saying. There's some change, or most change, dare I say all change, takes a time, various amounts of time, but ultimately, if you want to change your life, you have to put in effort on a consistent basis over a long period of time to get different results. Once you have those results, you look at them and say, what are the things, I got these results by doing these things. Is there anything I can replace in here with something else to get better results, or to get these same results faster? To improve upon the results I've gotten, what do I need to improve upon in my efforts? Maybe instead of running 3 days a week, I need to run 5. Or maybe instead of having 1 cheat day a week, I have 1 cheat day a month. Whew, excuse me. Or maybe it's instead of having 1 date night, and that's the only time I really show my significant other the passion and the love. That passion and love, like on a real basis, where you're on a date and you got your wine and the candlelight dinner and whatever. Maybe a couple times a week you rub that person's feet or their back, or maybe you write them a little love note, just something nice and sweet. Have a good day. It doesn't have to be a fucking essay. Just something nice and sweet. Maybe you just take it a little bit further. What incremental improvements can I do? What incremental changes can I do to cause that improvement? What do I need to do to get better results than I have? And ultimately, I said earlier, the path to perfection is never ending. Ultimately, people set goals. They use the formula, effort plus consistency plus time equals results. They get the results, and then they do that same formula again. They establish what they want. They adjust their efforts, they adjust their consistency, they allow time to take place, and they get different results. And once they have those results, they do the same thing. It's lather, rinse, repeat, over and over and over. But the beautiful thing is, the journey is where life is. The results are not your life. The journey is your life. The results are what people may talk about, but the journey is what you're going to remember. The journey is where you can impact people's lives, and you can help them have a higher quality life, a better life, a happier life, a more peaceful life. The journey is where you go through the hardships and the trials and tribulations to come out the other side better, stronger, faster. The journey is where you get to relax, where you learn who you are. The journey is where everything that needs to happen in your life so you can accomplish your goals happens. While the destination is critical, you can never get to that destination if you don't go through the journey. So to me, the journey of personal accountability is no different from the journey of anything else. You have to learn to enjoy the journey. Learn to enjoy taking responsibility for your life, because it's literally a sense of calm and peace. You're like, oh, this happened? Okay, well, here's 7 things I can do to combat that, to adjust that, to change that. Oh, my plumbing went out, or a water pipe burst. Water's everywhere. All right, so first we're going to go turn off the water. And then from there we have 7 options. But if you blame your landlord for piss poor water pipes, you're not going to do any of that stuff. You're just going to bitch. Or if you get fixated on the plumbing bill you're going to get, it's, you see what I'm saying? It's not, when you focus on the problems and the negatives and why you're in the situation you're in, you can't possibly focus on what you can do to fix it. Here lies personal accountability. When you are personally accountable for your life, you take personal responsibility, or extreme ownership, as Jocko Willink says, you are changing your focus from what's wrong to what you can do to fix it. And it's that simple. So with that being said, I, as always, thank you for your time. This was an impromptu video I decided to make. I'm going to go through and get it up there today. So yeah, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it and find this information useful. Please, if you have not already, like my channel, hit the bell button so you can be notified when I make new videos and new posts. Comment, tell me what your favorite part is. Tell me why I'm right or why I'm wrong. Tell me what you do to have personal accountability. Or share a story with me about when you realize the importance of personal accountability. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Sorry, I had a brain fart. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't ever miss my future videos. Be sure to share this with someone who may need some personal accountability in their life. I don't hold back. I don't pull punches. I am truthful, transparent, honest, and passionate in my conversations always. And I do that because I believe in keeping it real. I believe in being brutally honest, no matter how bad it may be. And that goes when I'm looking in the mirror too. So, yeah, thank you for your time. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Y'all take care.